Have you got a great idea for an app? Have you thought about any of the legal aspects of it? The use of mobile apps is increasing at a dramatic rate. You may be building an app that offers new ways to do business, like payment and purchase scanning, or you have a genius idea for a brand new service. Or maybe your business will be your app and you'll manage all your customers and services through it. But there's a number of legal issues you need to consider before your app goes viral. To help app inventors and developers, we designed this simple infographic to explain what you should be thinking about in the development process and how to protect yourself. Just follow the blueprint, and each step tells you what you should include to protect you and your app idea. The first protection is your confidentiality. You need to make some decisions and do some research to ensure your app idea isn't already out there. You need to decide if your app will be iOS or Android, whether it'll be a free or paid app, and whether you'll be seeking funding from investors. This is where the legal issues begin to arise. When you're trying to discuss anything about your idea with anyone, investors for funding, developers, friends, business colleagues, you should always consider a confidentiality agreement, even a basic one. App developers and investors are familiar with signing confidentiality agreements, so you shouldn't have a problem doing so prior to any discussions about your app idea. This also shows how serious you are about developing your idea. Too often ideas are easily taken and copied, or someone may even publish, tweet, or post them on their Facebook site. This means you're going to have difficulty ever proving your ownership. At least with the confidentiality agreement, which is also sometimes called a non-disclosure agreement, you can show it was your idea, and in some cases you can seek damages for any breach of confidence. The second protection to consider is your copyright. You need to sketch a mock-up of your app design, idea, and functionality. This is necessary for a number of reasons, including and most importantly, it gives evidence that it was your idea and proves ownership for copyright reasons. If you can show it was your idea first, you don't even need to register anything. You only need to be able to show that you had the idea, functionality, and design first. Your sketch design will help evidence this. Also, it's a great way to help brief your app developer. He'll better understand what you're trying to get him to develop. But just remember, if you created and developed the app concept while you're at work or under the employment of a business as part of your duties, you may not even own the app, even though you can show it was your idea. Next, you need an app developer to develop your app idea. When you're looking for it and speaking to your developer to find the right one to manage a project, make sure you use your confidentiality agreement. When you do find one you're happy with, make sure they sign your app developer contract. Most app developers don't pass ownership of the final code to you, so you don't really own the app, so you prefer to use your own developer contract. This may also lock you into using this particular developer for any updates to your app or any functionality changes if they don't provide the code. You will also have trouble getting investors if you cannot show you fully own the app code, rather than just a license to it given to you by your developer. An app developer contract doesn't just protect you, it's also good protection for your relationship with your developer, as you're making clear both your and their expectations for the project, the timeline, and the costs, all of which makes the understanding and relationship clear. Your app developer contract should also contain a confidentiality clause, by the way. You don't want them leaking the app idea before it's done and in the market. Now that your app development is underway, you can start planning your marketing strategy. Before your app is in the public market, you should consider formal intellectual property protection. To protect the name and logo, you can register the trademark with IP Australia. It can be a quick online process once you've completed all the searches and know the classes to choose from. Additionally, if your app has special unique functionality, it's important to consider protecting this by registering the patent. You can do this with IP Australia, and it'll go a long way to protecting your app from being copied by someone trying to do something similar. The last and most important item in your app development process is the legals. Now that your app is ready to go, decide what store you want to release it on, maybe the App Store if it's iOS, or Google Play Store if it's Android app. And it's a good idea to have your own website that people can go to see various things such as the functionality, videos on your app, ask questions, and even purchase directly from the site. The legal terms for the app are important. They protect you and your business. Believe it or not, and this may come as a surprise, but the legal terms you sign up for in the Apple and Google stores do not protect you. They protect them. And they put all the legal risk on you. You're agreeing to indemnify them from any of your customers who are unhappy or experience problems or issues. If something goes wrong, you're on the hook. But if you have your own legal terms that app users agree to when they download, you'll go a long way to protecting yourself and your business. What if your developer makes the app access the user's address book contacts when it doesn't need them, and then they're released to other people by accident? Without knowing what your app needs to run, you may find yourself in trouble. Ensure you first check with your developer and know what they have coded into your app. Many developers do not limit permissions to the minimum required, as it's more work for them to do so. This means you could be accessing information your app doesn't need to run. So make sure you know what you need to run your app, so you're not exposed to claims that you're accessing and using information that you don't need, especially personal information. A privacy policy will also help clarify what you do with this information you may access, and it gives confidence that you keep that information secure. If you also include a disclaimer that users agree to, it can limit your risk from the app not working properly or being misused. You need to consider your app as a product that people can sue you for, even if they misuse it. Without clear terms on what you're responsible for, there's little you can point to protect yourself. And now you're ready to promote your app. Don't forget to promote it on all the social media outlets available. It's a great way to get your message out there. Your app may require a few updates, and once you have followers on your list, this may be a good and inexpensive way to let them know the next version's available. We hope you found this helpful. We have all the easiest and quickest online agreements to protect you and your business here at Legal 123. So check us out at legal123.com.au.